recording.
Okay.
Hey. All right, we're live.
All right.
Nice. Nice.
Don't you like it when stuff works?
Yeah. We're live here on Comics and Illustration with Andrew Charper, the writer, artist of Hero, the book you've been watching me, well, not watching me color on my channel.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone, and fuck your mothers.
No, don't do that.
or maybe their moms need it. Maybe they could use some of the Sunny D. Who knows?
You know, the only response I could come up with would insult your mother, and I'm just not going to go there.
You could insult my mother. I hate her.
No, I love your mother. She's wonderful.
She's horrible. Thing is, wait, could everything I just said get back to her?
I seriously doubt it. Your mom, I don't believe, is active on YouTube.
I don't know. I don't hate my mother.
I gotta go kill my wife right now.
Oh, hey, don't say that. Plausible deniability, sir.
She just sent a whole bunch of crap information on Facebook to her mother, but she did it on her page, not in a private message. So all this information she's got out here is for public consumption. Isn't that wonderful? I gotta go kill her.
Nice.
I'll be right back.
Okay, I'm sharing my screen now.
She doesn't get, posting on somebody's Facebook page and sending them a private message. She doesn't know the difference, or she forgets. Oh, wait a minute. This isn't something personal. Maybe that's a good thing.
I've got to resize this now.
I'm still not seeing anything but your icon, so...
I hit share screen.
Okay, well, I still only see your icon.
Well, that's... Huh? I don't see anything on the video.
God dang it, Google.
I guess it is only showing my... Yeah, it is only showing my icon.
Well, so far, how long ago did you do share screen?
Several minutes ago. Yeah. Oh, I didn't finish. I didn't finish the share screen.
Ah, there you go.
Look at Vern Troyer right there, man. Woo!
Yeah, poor guy passed away recently.
Did he now?
Yep, that's why he's in the news, because he passed away.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yep. Oh, I was talking to Todd, and I was mentioning how I had taken that first video that you and I did, and where I'm drawing and you're coloring, and then I took the video and I cut all the parts of you out of it in order to make a drawing video for me for the next day. And he says to me, well, all you have to do is go into the control panel and highlight your image, and it won't show his image while you're recording the video. And I said, but then nobody would ever see him. And he goes, yeah, I know. I said, that's not what I'm trying to do, damn it. He was trying to give me instructions on how to ignore you. Yeah, I know. He actually called me this morning. I don't know. I think, I know what it was. Melissa had something to do, and so he was on baby duty. So he was playing with the baby and decided to give me a call. He could talk on the cell phone while he played with the baby. So I just thought that was funny.
Nobody cares about that baby.
I do. I love that baby. Babies are wonderful things, man.
Fucking gross.
Yeah, whatever. So you want to hear what I did today? I don't think you care, but I'll tell you anyway if you want to know.
Yeah, I don't really care.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you anyway. I did a video. Well, what I did is I built a Lego set but instead of doing it as a video, I did it as photographs. So when I put the photographs together, I turned it into a stop motion video where you see me putting the Lego set together, but you don't see my hand. You just see the Lego set going do 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 and getting built up. And Mike had bought that fake set, the one that was supposed to be World of Warcraft, but since it's a fake Lego set, it's called the War of Glory. And he had put the set together, and I was trying to tell him, you need to put it together on screen. And he says, "No, I'm not going to do that. You can do it later. You can take it apart and put it together on screen." And I said, "Okay, I'll do that." Well, instead of taking it apart and then putting it together on screen, I took photographs of me taking it apart one piece at a time. So then I put all the photographs into the iMovie, reversed them, so it shows me putting the set together one piece at a time.
I don't know anything you just said.
I know. It's okay. It's okay.
Something about Legos.
That's where I lost you, is right there at the beginning, right?
As soon as you said Legos, I checked out. Like, I'm not trying to be
No, that's okay.
I am being a dick. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No. See, you got to remember,
I love you, bro.
you
When you say Lego, I check the fuck out.
you and I both understand as comic fans that there are comics that you like that I don't particularly care for, and there are comics I love that you particularly think are trash.
Yeah.
And we respect that in each other. So when I'm talking about something I know you have no interest, it doesn't bother me at all, you know?
Well, I can be interested in some. I'm not some in someone's conversation. It like be respectful and genuinely listen. But when you start talking about the Legos, you lose me. Like I'm so sorry. I'm
It's
sorry,
perfectly
bro.
fine. It's perfectly fine. I understand.
I check out, bro.
I
I can't help it. The switch flips before I have the chance to go. Be a good friend and listen.
It's like talking about babies with you, right?
Yeah, as soon as you say something about, I'm like, I check out, dude. I just don't give a shit.
It's all right. That's all right.
I don't even think I would care if it was mine. I would be like, is it breathing? Fine. Is it hungry? Give it a tit. I don't want to know.
Yes, I understand. I understand.
Is it alive? That I'm cool. It's all good. It's breathing? Cool. It's good. But it's if it's alive, it's fine.
You know, there's a reason why I don't think Jen and I ever asked you to babysit, you know?
I would be awful.
Yeah, but
Oh,
if our kids could survive you, they could survive anything, you know?
oh, true. So here's the change to that page. If you can see it,
All right, let me take a look at it.
right here. It's right here. It's right here. I merged in the colored version before I knew it was a flashback when I was doing the early tests.
Yep.
Color with the faded blue, so it's still subdued and blued out, but not quite just mint blue. You know?
Yeah.
I think that's better.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
But I think the full color version, let me make it look full color.
Well, it also helps in the fact that
Looks too much like it's happening, you know?
Yeah, well, I think one of the things that also helps is that there isn't a border around the image, you know?
Yeah.
You know, it makes it stand out more as something separate from the main story, so.
Yeah. But it's a flashback, but it's not a whole big long story, so maybe I won't do it all one color.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely needs to be.
Well, it's a different person telling the story than the later on one that you've already done most of the art for, so, you know.
It's him telling something he just did a couple of minutes ago.
Right, exactly.
So he did minutes beforehand. So this is how it looks now instead of just blue.
Okay.
Is that better? I think it's better. The just blue was meh.
Meh.
It
Okay.
was this is better, I think. This is
Okay.
this is mo better, in my opinion.
I trust you. I trust you much.
Well, you, you need a little feedback sometimes. You can go in the wrong direction. Everyone, no matter how good you are, shits the bed sometimes. Everyone, every artist, every writer, every musician, every director, every creative person out there, no matter how wonderful they are, shits the bed sometimes.
You know what's actually funny is this character shows back up at the in the first chapter of book 3,
Hmm.
but he doesn't have the bow and arrow. He actually has a sword, and it's Hero's mom who has the bow and arrow.
Oh.
And it's actually the same bow and arrow that he's using right now. Because in the story, we thought it would be funny when they got introduced to each other that he was impressed with her bow, and that she says, "Well, when this war that we're fighting is over, you can have it." And he says, "Well, as long as you show me how to use it." So, like, we kind of twisted the script a little bit, in the fact that, yeah, he looks cute and cool with his little bow and arrow, but it was not something he was born into. It's something that it also makes his hero's mom cooler at the same time.
Oh, I cannot get these colors lined up perfectly.
Yeah, I see that.
There's a huge size difference. You did something between these two files.
Well, it is quite possible.
You did something. You twisted something, and it's not quite. But I'm almost thinking about leaving it that way.
Well, it does give it that not complete, you know, more artsy fartsy in a way.
No, it looks like it makes it look more like an old school comic.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
see, in some places it does line up pretty damn close.
I wonder what I changed with him.
You no, it could literally be a slight bump in your free transform when you change size.
Yeah, yeah.
Because when I put this on top, it was massive. It was 3 times too big, and
Hmm.
I've had to free transform it down. Let me see if just a couple of nudges makes it work.
Oh, by the way, Mike is going with us tomorrow, so he has a later shift. It was today that he was working early. Tomorrow he's working the later shift. So
I just can't get this lined up quite right. It it doesn't work trying to do what I'm trying to do. It's not. It's not super easy.
Okay, well,
When you resized everything from how my first files, it created some problems with this. Well, this is the only page because everything else I recolored, I completely recolored.
right, right. Yes, I think this is one of the first ones you were playing around with. Remember?
Yes,
Yeah.
and I can't get the size quite right. I don't know what you did, what the exact measurement change was, and I'm trying to free transform it, and it it's it's not easy.
Speaking of the boy, I think he just got home from work.
It is that better? Is that right? No, that's not right. I
He's now more lined up, and the lizard's less lined up.
I know.
Don't spend too much time on it. I don't want you
I don't
to.
have a choice but to spend time on it. Not unless I'm going to completely recolor that page again.
Yeah, I don't want you to have to do that.
Well, I'm going to have to.
It looks good as is.
No, it doesn't. You look at the size difference when I dragged it over. Oh, god damn it. Wrong layer.
Well, I did resize a lot of stuff because I was changing formats, kind of.
See, look. It's a big change from what I originally colored.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know how to get this.
What size is that page?
Whatever size you sent me.
Well, check the size because it should be 18 inches tall.
The DPI difference could be the biggest reason.
Well, I don't ever change the DPI. I always leave it at 300.
We're not supposed to be 300.
What is it supposed to be?
4.
I'm fairly certain all the pages I sent you are 300.
Oh, that's...
It's possible that when I sent you that page, it was 400. I might have made a couple of 400 pages like for you to start with and then forgot and just did 300 for everything else. That might be the big difference.
See ya.
Hey, kid.
Hey.
How's it going?
Nothing much.
You work hard today?
Yeah.
Wait, is this got it? That's pretty close. That's close. We're going to fade it in and call it that. You muted. Let's call this that.
What's that?
We're going to call it that.
Talk to me or
I got it. I got it. I got it blended in better this time.
Give me just 1 second. I gotta talk to the kid, okay?
No. There, that's much better. That's much better. Much better. I like that better. So, how anybody not watching? How you doing? Are you doing okay? Are you doing good? Are you excited to see Han Solo? It's the perfect movie. It looks perfect. It's got empty nest and scissor punching and I can't wait to buy 2 movie tickets for my wife and her boyfriend to go see that movie together. They can come home.
You know, I just muted my microphone. I didn't actually take my headphones off.
Okay.
So I heard you talking the entire time.
That's okay. I was
not buying tickets for Solo for my wife and my boyfriend, okay?
No, I wasn't talking about you. I was talking to the audience about buying tickets for Solo for my boyfriend. They can come home and I can watch them fuck.
You're so bad. You're so bad.
Why?
Just because.
Why am I bad? I'm not bad. Are you judging my lifestyle?
That's exactly what I'm doing, man.
Everybody hates a cuck until they want to come fuck our wives.
So says the man doesn't have a wife.
You don't know. I might have a wife. I might be secretly married.
You know, I could almost believe that.
You don't know. I might be secretly married and you don't know.
You could also be secretly gay, too.
Secretly. mean, I'm not gay, but I'm pretty sure a couple of the dudes I banged are.
You're so nasty. Oh well. Oh.
It's like, I'm not gay, but my boyfriend is. You've never heard that joke? What rock do you live under, dude? You don't hear all the good jokes.
Dude, all I hear is dad jokes, man. Those are the ones I make.
Yeah, this is so hard to get this lined up, man. I don't. The difference. But you know what? I think it might work since it's faded to be a little off register. Yeah, that's close enough. Fuck it. That's kind of cool like that.
Okay.
Here's your page now, Andrew.
Be happy with it or die, right?
No, I think it looks better than just the blue. The blue was too meh. Meh. Meep.
Meep.
Is anybody good streaming that we should kill our stream and go watch?
Not yet, I don't think.
Oh, not yet.
I don't think anybody's live streaming right now. It's Saturday night. They usually, if they're gonna do it later.
Yeah, usually.
So, be honest with you, I like my 7:30 time frame because nobody's live streaming at that time, you know.
No.
And that works for me.
Typically, they're not. No.
Yeah.
I should have Twitter pated this video. I'll tweet it after that we did it. I'll tweet it tomorrow. Be like, hey, hey, I acted like a dick and I have a headache. Oh.
You have a headache, huh?
I actually made it to the gym today. Whew.
Oh, very nice.
All I did was cardio, though. I just went for 30 minutes real quick and came home. And
well,
I'll do cardio for a couple of weeks before I throw back in the weights. Just cardio to get my energy up.
Yeah.
Then once my energy starts picking up, then I'll throw back in the weight training. And I'll start off real light and then slowly just crank it back up.
Well, just take it slow because you haven't done it for a while, you know?
No.
It's been a day and a half since you last did it, you know?
I know that. That's the reason I didn't push as hard on the treadmill as I used to.
Why the hell is there fireworks going off right now?
Because you have a little yippy dog.
Yeah, I know, but why? He's not yipping. He's hiding right now. Why are they doing fireworks? Is there something going on?
Could be.
Oh, you know what I think it is? The baseball thing is coming back.
Soilo. It's for Soilo.
No, it's not.
It's for Soilo.
It's for the jumbo shrimp.
Potato. That's what do you think my other name for Soilo is? Jumbo shrimp.
Jumbo shrimp.
Gone shrimping. Ugh. Oh God. You don't know what I just said, do you?
No.
Do
bad. I want to know?
Oh, it's bad. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Well, it came out of your mouth, so it probably is.
Everybody hates the cuck until it's time to fuck our wives, and they're all like, "Hey."
You're so bad.
What?
Oh, so you've been thinking about your list?
No.
No? Are you gonna make one or no?
Oh no.
No.
I don't
okay.
Flying fuck.
Okay, that's fine.
Getting me to actually care about something like that, like really, no, I don't care.
Okay. Well, I was just gonna say I could do it for you. I mean, I can make up a list for you, and you'll just have to accept whatever I say is who you picked.
I just don't care.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's why I will take advantage of the fact that you don't care.
I'll just nope out on the whole conversation.
Yeah. Your all-time favorite is going to be what was the girl? What was the lady that was in Misery?
I couldn't tell you. There I was a lady in misery. What's misery? Misery, my life.
I did another drawing today. It actually came out pretty good.
Nope.
I was happy with it.
No.
I'm getting better with the.
Show it to me so I can dash those hopes. No, I'm kidding.
No. I made a video out of it. I'll post the video tomorrow.
Okay, I'll thumbs down.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
No,
That's fine.
I thumbs up all your drawing videos, jackass.
I know, and I appreciate it. I thumbs up all the ones of yours I watch too.
Your Lego videos, though, I check out. Your in Pokemon videos, I'm sorry. I don't thumbs down, but I check out.
No, that's fine.
Uh,
They're not for everyone, but I have a ball making them, so.
That's cool. Oh, I wonder if I could make a video, like a channel making fun of Legos and like ragging on Lego people. I wonder if that would like get clicks.
Next to Star Wars, I think there's more Lego people out there, to be honest with you.
Like, I kind of want to jump on the anti-Star Wars bandwagon. I really do. But I also don't want to put effort into editing shit.
Yeah. No, I understand.
It's like, if I'm going to learn to edit, I want to do art videos.
If you're going to put the effort into it, screw that, you know?
Yeah, if I'm going to put effort in, I want to make something that I'm just like, yeah, that's fine. I did that. That's cool. Not just like piss off nerds, which I am a nerd. And
yeah.
And I do enjoy tweaking nipples a little. Like, you know, it's kind of fun.
Well.
Did you watch one of EVS's new ones where the shit trash website was trolling him back?
Yes. Oh my God, I saw that. I was like, as soon as he said it, I had to look up at because I was just listening. I had to look up at the screen. Is he serious? Did they really mention him on their site? And they did.
He goes, the troll is out from under the bridge and dancing on my head. I was like, oh my God, dude, that is some meta fucking trolling right there. Holy shit.
I guess that's the sign you've made it as a troll is when they start naming you when they start listing you by name in their videos.
I'm like, oh, that's kind of awesome. That like for real, that's pretty awesome that they did mention him by name. Like,
yep.
Just like, what the fuck? I'm like, that's good. That's good shit. That's good meme. That's a spicy meme.
Yep. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. I know he appreciates it.
Oh, I've got a cartoon I want to draw of him. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to ruin the joke. I don't want anybody to beat me to it if someone hasn't already, because I haven't been looking on the Twitter, on the Twitters. But I got a cartoon I want to do of him, like a little troll. It's not mean. It's just he appreciates trolling. I think he generally appreciates trolling, as long as you're not being a dick.
Yeah.
Like, if you're just poking fun, he's totally fine. You want to see some of the shit people say to him when they're trolling him in his live chats, and he's laughing. Like, he's trying to act like it hurts his feelings, but you can hear that he's, like, holding back the laughter because he thinks the shit's funny.
Yeah.
I thought of a little cartoon I want to do of him. And I just got to sit down and do it. It's a good 2 to 3 hours.
Now, did you hear about DNC's next stretch goal at 75,000?
I did, but I forgot about it.
It's some fan. He's going to include 5 pages of fan art.
Yeah, he's already.
And it sounds like he's already got everybody lined up. So it's like it's not even worth offering.
I have something I could send him too.
Oh yeah,
I already did it. I just didn't say what it was when I did it. Remember?
I gotcha. I gotcha.
Because I didn't draw the handlebars on the dude, on the one dude, the handlebar mustache.
Mm-hmm.
But if you notice, he has that bluish purplish hair, and it's going with that initial idea where Ethan Van Sky, when Ethan said, it should be some dude just getting punched in the face, teeth.
Yep. Yep.
I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. I'm gonna do that. Oh, I forgot to do all the background leaves first. Oh, fuck me running. I didn't do all the background leaves for all the panels first. So stupid. I'm so stupid.
No, it happens.
Nobody. That's why nobody likes me or loves me or watches my YouTube. I'm too stupid. God, I'm awful. God, so awful. That's why nobody. Like, I'm too far ahead of my time.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
Woo!
Oh.
We did we really butt hurt Jason with our Star Wars trolling in that one video?
He's a huge Star Wars fan, man.
Well,
And
I used to be.
he didn't. He trust me. He didn't take it personally. But and if he did, I don't really care. If he took it personally, that's his own damn fault. But
Man, he doesn't follow my channel anyway.
he doesn't? Well, shit.
So I don't give a shit.
But I am fairly certain, and if I'm wrong, please correct me. But didn't you say that the 8 people that follow you are the right 8 people?
Yes.
And if Jason started following you, I don't know if you want him in your group,
No, it's not about.
He's
Like,
a Star Wars fan. He may not be the kind of
it's
people.
it's it's about having the 8. Like we're okay if we only sell 10,000 comics as long as it's the right 10,000. I don't give a shit who you are. If you like my shit, cool. Like, I will take anybody's money. I don't care, man.
That's so bad.
Like, there's so much ridiculous garbage in comics and in pop culture and fandom. It's totally nuts, man. What some people are.
Yep.
How nasty they are.
Yeah, some people tend to care way too much about stuff.
But I get Star Wars fans being pissed because they wreck. I used to love Star Wars, and after the prequels, it kind of curbed my enthusiasm a lot. And after these two movies, I'm just like, fuck it.
Well, I was really excited when Disney bought the property because the first thing they said is, we are making more Star Wars movies. And I said, thank God. Make more movies.
Yeah, how you feel about that now?
I'm still okay with it. I still want to see more movies.
Even
I'm
though
looking forward to Solo, Soilo.
how?
I want to see it. I I like the trailers, and I still want to see it.
I don't understand how your eyeballs work.
They don't work that well.
I I'm not. I don't understand.
No, I know.
It looks so bad.
It's not so bad.
Oh, it looks so bad.
Did you watch World Class Bullshitters, where they did the where he did the review, or he went through the special features on the Blu-ray
Yeah.
for the new movie?
Uh-uh.
Oh yeah,
Is it funny?
I haven't watched the special features, but definitely saved all of us the trouble.
Because I just don't care about Star Wars movies anymore. They've been completely ruined.
No, I think they're redeemable. I know they're redeemable.
They're not. I'm telling you, they're not.
Did you like Rogue One?
Not really. Not especially. The Darth Vader scene was cool. The rest of the movie was a big turd. I could care less. That droid was okay, but overall, that story didn't even need to be told. It didn't matter. It didn't matter.
Well, it
It's
definitely.
like let's tell a movie about what Princess Leia ate the day before A New Hope. What was her lunch? It doesn't matter.
They
It was irrelevant.
No. I think that movie was relevant,
But
and
no,
I think it did a good job. And I'll tell you why. You want to hear my theory on this one? And it's the same reason why The Last Jedi was so bad. There had been a lot of fan speculation to why it was so easy for Luke and the rebels to blow up the Death Star. And this movie, that movie that they put out, literally explained why it was as easy as it. Well, it wasn't easy, but why it was. You know, there was a reason why they were able to just fly in and blow the thing up.
still a turd.
Yeah, I know, but the movie answered a question that had been plaguing fans for, I don't want to say hundreds of years because that's not right, but has been plaguing fans for a long time. People speculated on how it was possible that this group of rebels was able to destroy this star destroyer, this star base, by just shooting, one missile into one little hole.
But it's not that big a deal.
Yeah, it's not, but people have been talking about it since the original Star Wars movie came out.
Yeah, and it's a joke.
Yeah, I know, but the point is
It's
they made a
yeah,
movie
you don't
and explained it and
don't
gave people an
you don't
answer to that question.
2 hours of trash to explain away a joke.
No, it wasn't a joke. It was a serious. It was kind of a hole in the story,
Yeah, but still, they don't need to make that stupid movie. It could
No, well,
it could have been mentioned in passing in one of the books.
yeah, well, they made a lot of money. They
Sure,
made a movie and made a lot of money.
sure, it was still a turd.
Yeah, well,
It wasn't. It was. I. There was no reason for me to care.
there are a lot of people out there that did. And
Yeah,
that's all that matters. You don't matter to them. You know that.
I know that. No one matters to them. It's
Yeah.
still a bad movie.
The bottom line is
It's a bad movie.
the people who are fans enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I thought Rogue One was much better than The Last Jedi. But that was the fault of The Last Jedi in the fact that those two big questions were never answered.
Well, Rogue One was better than Last Jedi.
It was.
That's true.
But it did answer that the fans' questions. The question was, how was it as easy as it was? And this is the answer of why. And those two big questions after The Force Awakens, which was what were Rey's parentage and what was Snoke's backstory, was never satisfactorily answered
Yeah,
in The Last Jedi, and that's the reason why people hated it. And I truly think that's one of the reasons.
that was pretty awful.
They also wanted to see the return of Luke Skywalker, and
They got screwed.
they got screwed on that. And
It's a bad movie. Bad movie. It is a bad movie.
it's not a bad movie.
Last Jedi's a bad movie.
It just did bad things.
Bad movie.
It's like the pedophile that touched your ass. Didn't touch your penis, but he touched your ass. So it could have been worse.
No, the ass is the worst part. That's
All
the
right.
that's the worst part.
All right, we got one notification. I Love Comics is live right now, so yeah, don't worry about it. Nobody's in chat.
No.
I could chat.
It's just
I could say something.
such a bad movie. Yeah, I didn't like. I didn't think Rogue One was all that great. It was pretty freaking mediocre.
There you go. I added to the chat.
Oh, dude. That. Oh. Oh, that movie's awful. Star Wars is dead.
To you.
Trust me.
Maybe.
Disney's gonna run it in the ground. It's not gonna be long. They're gonna crank out some serious stinkers.
Well, I think the thing that's going to be potentially dangerous to Disney is the TV series. If they do it well, or the TV series is however many of them they're going to do. If they do it well, it'll be a redemption. But if they do it bad, if they do it, like Inhumans bad. Have you ever seen the Inhumans TV series? No, I've only watched like half of one episode with Jennifer. She's watched it. She's enjoyed it, but nope.
No, it doesn't look interesting.
Yes, but she's not a fan of the comics, so there's nothing for her to dislike, Actually, I introduced her to the original Marvel graphic novel for the Inhumans, the one that was drawn by Brent Blevins.
I don't know what that is.
Oh my God, you've never seen that?
Dude, I haven't looked at those kind of comics from Marvel in years.
Oh, that comic was fantastic.
I gave up on Marvel a long time ago.
Brent Blevins has a comic series coming out through Image. Bet you didn't know that.
No, I don't keep up with all this stuff.
It was in the latest previews. We should have done a preview episode.
I don't buy previews.
Dude, I told you I'd buy it for you if you want to do the episodes with me.
I don't like it.
Don't like it.
It's bad for you.
You sound like a big baby.
I don't like the comics. They're bad.
Well...
No, I just don't buy previews. I don't care enough to.
I always like knowing what's coming out, whether or not I buy anything. Oh, I did go back to the store and pick up that issue of that Image comic series that I saw in Tony's video. Skyward. It's an Image comic. The art's by Lee Garbett. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Garbett.
I don't know.
I know you've probably seen the name before, but
I don't know.
It was a really interesting setup. I kind of liked it. I'll do a review of it later.
I don't know about that.
It's about a world in which the Earth loses all of its gravity, and everybody lives in a zero-G world. It's actually a pretty cool idea.
I don't know. I don't know about all
Well, I understand.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, all those things that I think are cool. No, 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 no.
I don't know about all that.
Yep, I know. I know.
I don't let myself get enthusiastic about things. It,
Oh, you know what else I picked up?
it's a trap.
You know what else I picked up? Image Comics produced a book. It's a let's see, 53 pages, 54 pages, something like that. Um, by Dustin Weaver. It's all his stories and art. It's like an anthology type book. Dustin Weaver is the guy that did. Do you remember those X Force issues that we bought the trades, the hardcover trades, and it was the where the issues were in full color, but in the back they showed you just the original pencil pages with the gray tones on it, and it was gorgeous.
All right.
Do you remember those? Well, this is his own personal stuff, and it's not as good.
I don't remember what I don't know what you're talking about. I don't. I did not buy such a comic.
Oh yes, you did. I know you did. Do you remember the X Force story where Archangel and them they were all trying to kill Apocalypse?
No. It's
Oh,
every.
you probably looked at the art. You didn't read the story.
Oh God, no! I didn't read this. What?
Yeah. Okay. So
I
telling
bought.
you the storyline's not going to help.
Yeah. I do not read most of the comics I buy. I don't buy them for the stories.
Yeah.
I don't follow stories. I don't follow writers. There are some writers I think are good, but I don't follow writers. I buy things for art. There are some books I'm reading. White Knight, Mr. Miracle, Doomsday Clock.
Yeah.
Most of the other comics I buy because I think they look cool.
Well, Tony had the first two issues of this series in his dollar sale, and they're originally priced $5.99, which means even at a 50% discount, he paid $3 a piece for these. And
Okay.
I picked them up each for $1. So I kind of feel like I cheated him a little bit, but they were interesting.
No,
I like
that artist is he's really really good.
he is. Well, it's really weird because he's writing these stories as well as illustrating them. He's using different techniques. Like there's the primary story that takes up like 20 to 30 pages of the book is done very very quick and and not a lot of detail, and he's known as being a really detailed kind of guy. And then the other stories are more detailed, but this one is like kind of looser. It's really weird, but it's also kind of cool. But it's the fact that he's in control of the stories, which means he's in control of the art, the type of art he wants to do. So if he wants to do a looser, quicker style, screw it, he can do it.
Yeah, the thing is though, fans don't like it when you experiment.
Well, that's kind of why he probably took it to Image,
That's one
because
that's pretty rough on artists sometimes.
yeah,
I've seen. I don't mind when artists experiment with stuff, but I've seen time and time again where an established artist wanted to try something different. They did it. I thought it was cool, and but like everybody was else like, "This sucks," blah blah. I don't like when it. I'm like, okay, man, but I like a lot of weird, different stuff.
nope, I understand.
I like everything from classic superheroes to like Mr. Punch. And people need to stop trying to make classic superheroes into freaking Vertigo books.
Mm.
If you're gonna do a classic superhero, do that and don't apologize for it. Be what it is, and fully embrace what it is.
$73,000. I could handle that.
For what?
That's what that Jawbreaker Indiegogo is up to. Indiegogo.
Dude, I would be thrilled if we could build up an audience where we did a quarter of that or half that per book.
Well, if you think about it, he has an audience on YouTube of 60 plus thousand, and he has 2,000 backers.
Yeah.
So that's what, 1/12 of what he has.
Hmm.
So you literally have to.
When
If
it
you,
comes to when it comes to YouTube though, there's lots of people that subscribe to you and never come back.
yeah,
They
yeah.
they
No,
hear
I
about
understand
you,
that.
check out one video, and then they never come back. They never look at another video.
Yeah, yeah,
It happens all the time because lots of people who use YouTube have been on the site for years and have subbed to thousands of people. So it's just a deluge of notifications. Even with the system only partially up, telling them who's uploaded. That's the reason I deliberately keep my YouTube who I follow small.
yeah, yeah,
It's not that there aren't other cool, interesting channels out there. There actually are on everything that I would be into, from GI Joe to Transformers, and because there's lots of cool channels on the old GI Joe toys and Transformer toys, and I love that stuff. And I like some of the anniversary toys they put out for those lines. They look amazing. Some of them look fantastic. If I had money to burn, I'd be buying some of that stuff. It's awesome. I recently rewatched somebody posted the original Transformers movie, and I watched it again. I loved that stuff for all of its flaws.
yeah.
I watched some old GI Joe episodes the other day. Love that stuff. Yeah, it's flawed. It's kind of awful in a way. I don't care. I love it. I love
Yep.
Okay, I see. All right.
What do you see?
I get it. I gotta go in here manually and do all that. All right. Yeah, do this the hard way. It's all right.
Oh, wow. Did you know in the YouTube analytics, when you're looking at your information of where it has watch time and views and so forth, that you can switch back and forth between non-subscribers, subscribers, and then subscribers and non-subscribers together?
I don't look at that stuff, so I don't care.
Really? Okay. Well, I'm just finding it very interesting.
It's of no interest to me, all that stuff, because no one watches my videos anyway. So I don't bother to look at it. No one.
What it means is that most of my views are from people who don't subscribe to my videos.
Yes, that's gonna be
Yeah.
most of it.
And the people who subscribe are more active on my live streams. So that's interesting.
That's me and Jason.
Pretty much.
I hate it. It's kind of rough. It's hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, there, heck, there's a couple of artists I followed that have like decent art channels,
Mm-hmm.
but I haven't been back in a while to check out what they're doing, and they have like, I don't know, tens of thousands of followers, which I think is pretty good. Is it pretty good in YouTube standards? No, but I think it's pretty good because they're getting sponsors and they're getting tens of thousands of views. on their videos. I think it's cool. They're building an audience for their art, and that's all they do is their art and their little graphic novels, and
Yeah, yeah.
that's all they do.
Well, I kind of find it sad when I find an artist who I really like, and then I go and I look and I find out they have a YouTube channel. I'm like, oh, yes, this is awesome. And then I find out they haven't posted a new video since like last November. It's like
No,
they were active and then they just stopped.
that's the if you look, a lot of the big comic artists that have YouTubes, they started their YouTube a couple years ago and stopped after a few months.
Yeah, yeah,
Ethan wasn't the first comic guy on YouTube. He's just the one that has the, he was able to get his audience engaged,
yeah, yeah.
and some of the others didn't. But he also has a lot of drama that's it's interesting. I'm not gonna. It's interesting. It's amusing. I ain't gonna lie. Oh, I'm gonna start openly following people on Twitter. I'm like, you're doing it. Other people are doing it, and
I never stopped. Yeah,
yeah. So I'm just gonna start doing it and just like fuck it.
yeah.
I
But
don't.
I'm also not very active on Twitter, which I find it funny that certain creators have blocked me and I have done absolutely nothing. And that's fine. That's their prerogative. I mean, if they want to
It
do that, that's
says
fine.
it says a lot about them. Like
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I wouldn't block anyone unless they're just being nasty to me. Like I get it if they block a fan for going f or something. Like okay, that makes sense. I understand why you got like mad and blocked that one person. But some of the stuff I see, it's like them going off on a fan who's being completely civil. And I'm just like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
That person was being totally polite to you, and you're just going off. Makes no sense.
Yeah.
Heck, one of them even became a meme. The fu whatever to that guy. I saw it before anyone even made a video on it. I was just like, really? He really just spent like a good chunk of his day telling one fan to shut the fuck up? That's insane. That's batshit crazy.
Well, well. You kind of got to be a little crazy to be in this industry. This is not an industry for normies, you
No,
know, for normal people.
no, it's not.
It's not an industry for people that, have lives and
Oh, for a while there, it seemed like a lot of people were fairly normal. Like they weren't totally freaking nuts. And then in the early 2000s, dude, it just started changing. Look at
why
that
does
pudge. Look at that pudge. Look at that pudge.
he's so cute.
I already sort of colored them before I got the rocks done. Oh, crap. It's all right. It's all in layers. I can switch back and forth. God, I have a headache I cannot get rid of, man.
Need to eat something, take a nice hot shower, and go to sleep. That's
No,
the only way I can beat a headache nowadays.
it won't. It won't make a difference.
Mm, I know.
I'm out of Advil, so there's no getting rid of my headache. There's no getting rid of it. forgot to pick some up when I was at the store.
Well, you know, our Walmart down the street's 24 hours.
Yeah, I know. I'm just not in the mood to go back to Walmart.
Oh, the one that I call Mike's Walmart, which is the one down by his work, turns out they close like at 1 a.m. or something. They're not a 24-hour store.
No, not all of them are.
Yeah, I thought all the superstores were, but I guess that one's not.
No, I think the one there on Phillips isn't either.
Yep. Well, that's what I'm talking about. Well, there's two on Phillips.
Yeah, I'm talking about the one closer to me.
Yeah.
That
I
one.
don't like that one. That's kind of ghetto.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good one to go to for Black Friday because there's really not that many people at it. It's the one over by Regency and the one on Atlantic that get blambasted with people, you know.
What's funny is the one on beach there by me is the one that gets robbed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's been robbed a few times.
Wasn't that the one that the guy pulled a knife or something?
I don't know.
This was several months ago, but
There's so many crazy bastards in and out of. The fuck knows. It hurts straight up my nose to the top of my skull.
it probably doesn't help having headphones on, does it?
Not really.
You want me to stop talking to you so you can take your headphones off?
It don't matter. It wasn't that bad when the stream started because I took Tylenol, but Tylenol just does not cut it on my headache.
Oh, geez, who left the stroke on the inside of his hand? That's not nice.
The stroke isn't even on; it's a part of the drawing.
Yeah, I know. I try not to do that, but
Did it? I can erase it.
oh, I'll end up just completely removing the stroke altogether. So, and then either adding it. What I did, a lot of the pages that I converted that you gave back to me is I set the stroke a little bit lower because in the black and white image and gray image, the 10-point stroke, I like that it makes the character stand out, but on the colored background, it makes it stand out too much. So I end up usually lowering it down to 5 points instead of 10 points.
That's the reason in some of your drawings I colored the stroke.
Yeah, yeah. Well, in that case, I usually just left it alone. So, but
I can get rid of it, or I can let you deal with it.
yeah, just let me deal with it. That's fine. I'll deal with it. It's not a big deal.
Oh man, I am tired.
Well, wrap this up early then.
I really wanted to get a good chunk of this page done on stream.
Did you get any work done earlier today?
No.
No. I did one drawing. I did enough to have a drawing video for tomorrow, but there was more I wanted to do. There is a lot of backgrounds and stuff that I need to do for this next chapter. This next chapter is very ambitious for me in the fact that there's a lot of buildings, there's a lot of interior, there's a lot more than what I've done up to this point. Hell, I think the only backgrounds that I actually spent time, sat down and did layouts is in book 2 when they're all sitting around having dinner in Granny Aura's house. You know, because I knew they were going to be in there for a little bit because there was a conversation, they were telling a story and all. So I knew because there was going to be a lot of panels where they're inside the house, I drew several different shots from different angles so I could move them around and whatnot. And that, speaking of which, remind me when you get to that part of the book, I'll just give you the backgrounds. That way, when you could just color one background and use it for, reuse it instead of recoloring each background for each panel. Because I literally just reuse the same backgrounds over and over again. Well, that's what they do in animation,
Yeah, yeah.
And it also made it go faster. It made me get the chapter done quicker. Why should I redraw the same stove and dinner table 5 times in 5 different panels if I can just do it one time and put them in the, you know what I mean?
It all depends on how dynamic you want to tell the story.
Yep, exactly. Well, I'm not in that particular section of the book. I needed to first establish where everybody was to each other and to their surroundings. And once I did that, the focus shifted to the characters and the conversation. The background was not important. It showing that they're still there, that they're in the same spot and they're in the same area was a vital thing, but it wasn't the focus of each and every panel, Once you establish, okay, this is where everybody's at and this is where everything
I mean, and to keep from constantly picking flat, boring angles.
Oh, I know. Well, one of the other things I also did, which is something that was unusual for me, was I wanted to make sure there were backgrounds in all the panels, or at least a majority of the panels.
You don't even need that. Once or twice per page is all you need.
Well, I only have 3 panels per page, so.
Okay, here's the deal. Don't write Cornerstone quite that way.
I'm going to be a little looser with that for you. Well, one of the things I was talking, Todd had mentioned that to me this morning. He said, so how's this Cornerstone thing coming? I said, oh, I've got an idea and I need to flesh it out. I need to write stuff up. So I need to make sure I can present it to Avery to where he'll go, okay, let's do this, and not have to go back and forth. And, you need to add this. You need to, I want it to be to where you can hit the ground running, And I told him kind of the general plot line, storyline that I was thinking of, and he was laughing. He's like, that's great. That's perfect. And I said, oh, well, we'll see. Avery might think it's too, it might not work, but we'll see. But he's like, you need to just sit down and write up like the first issue and give it to him. And I said, I know, but I need to fleshing out some of these characters first.
Yeah. I need to know the cast of characters.
Yep. Well, it's gonna be limited. There may only be like 10 characters total in the first story. So
I need to find my copy of the old Cornerstone so I can like revamp some characters. At least like Ricky and.
Well, though Ricky and Cortez, the werewolf guy, and the Frankenstein monster are the only 2 characters from the original books that'll be in this story.
Ricky's the Frankenstein monster.
Yeah.
Ricky, Cortez, and who?
Well, Venus.
The elf girl? Is she an elf or what?
Vampire.
The pointy. Okay.
Yeah, but she's not going to be in this story.
She's a vampire. Okay.
Yeah. But she won't be in this story because she comes along much later on in the story.
I have some ideas for Ricky. I don't know if you're gonna. I haven't drawn them yet. I don't know if you're gonna like it or not. I don't know if I should ask or just do it and show you.
Do it and show me. That's fine because we talked about this earlier, where you said you wanted to redesign him, and I told you that the idea that I have for this story is that it takes place prior to what I've already established. So if he's unfinished, or he's in a earlier stage or an undeveloped stage, and like if there's wires hanging out and there half his face is missing, I'm fine with that. So you do what you want to do.
Nothing like that.
Oh, all right.
He is complete. There's none of that silliness. Incomplete silliness.
Well, I'm just saying, if you wanted to go in that direction, you're more than welcome to.
No, it sounds awful.
Just don't make him a white guy, okay? Because he's black.
No, I wasn't going to make him white. I absolutely wasn't going to make him white.
Well, I just imagine you doing a redesign, and all of a sudden he's a white tranny, you know?
No, actually, parts of him might be white.
That'd be fine.
But yeah, Ricky's a black guy.
Yep, that'd be fine.
I would. No, he was going to stay a black guy. I was going to make him very obviously that the face and part of the torso was from a black guy.
Yeah. Well, there are two things about his character that I never got to explore in the first two graphic novels, at least not yet, that you don't know about the character. Number one is his mind is that of a child. He has the brain of like a 13-year-old kid. And I don't ever get to go into that because you just don't know that part of him yet. And the other part, which I hinted at in the first book but never really addressed, is that he's also a drug addict. In a way, he's addicted to the electrical boost, the electrical charges that keeps him running. It's almost to the point where if he doesn't have it after a certain amount of time, his whole body can shut down. And I never got a chance to address that. But the child part isn't as important. But originally the storyline, and this is none of this is set in stone, but the process, the body parts that the guy who created him was using was from a bus filled with convicts that went off of a cliff, and they reclaimed all the bodies to be used. So that's why he's this big, huge black guy, because a lot of them were big, huge black guys. But the process to bring
black people are criminals.
No, I'm not saying. Well, but
that's the way some weirdo is going to take it.
The process in which to bring him to life was too stressful for a mature-sized brain. The brain would just explode. So they had to use a smaller brain, an underdeveloped brain. So they used the brain of a child who had gotten killed in a car accident, and that brain survived the process. So that's why he's got the mind of a 12-year-old, but it's been programmed with all the knowledge necessary to be a police officer, to be a detective. But he does have a younger brain in his body.
Lost me.
I lost you? Yeah. That's all right.
Programmed to be a police officer. I don't like that part.
Oh, well.
I think it's cooler if his origin's a mystery and he ended up on the police force.
Well, he was built in order to be a tool for the police force, because they were experiencing high rates of crime, especially crime with the supernatural, and they needed something to combat it. And that's why he was commissioned and he was brought into the force, is because, it's not that he's completely indestructible, but he's much more capable of handling, 10 werewolves and 20 vampires at one time than just a normal cop would. They're not worried about him dying because, you know what, he's not really alive to begin with. So and Cortez has a backstory too. I was actually supposed to address it in the third book, but never got that chapter done. So, I mean, all my characters have backstories. I just never necessarily got into them. But
because I was going to put a tattoo across Ricky's stomach.
Oh, that's fine.
You know what it was? Know what it was going to say?
Star Wars Forever.
Good God, no. It's going to say Shelly.
Shelly?
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a reference to something.
Yes.
Well, tell me because I'm not. It's not making. It's not hitting me in the face.
Mary Shelley.
Oh, shit! I should have seen that coming. Yes, dear. I hear you, but I don't have to go to work tomorrow. I don't go back to work till Tuesday. The wife's reminding me it's 10 o'clock.
Oh yeah.
She's very concerned about because I still have not 100% gotten this sleeping schedule thing down. So
It's a messed up schedule.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
It's a shitty schedule, dude.
Well, I like it in the fact that it leaves so much open. It gives you a whole day still ahead of you.
Yeah, but you have to go to bed at like a time when normal people are still doing shit.
Well, usually if I'm laying down by 9, I may not fall asleep till 10, but that's usually more than enough. As long as I. Okay.
She didn't realize he's streaming. Oh, this headache will not go away. I'd like to work on this more on stream, but I don't think that's going to happen. Oh, my headache is just owning me. My headache is just owning me.
My wife would like you to know that she was telling me off from my bullshit.
Oh.
And I muted it so that you didn't have to hear it to begin with.
Yeah, I was like, she probably doesn't realize we're streaming.
Yeah, I heard you talking while I was trying to talk to her.
Yeah, I was like, realize we're streaming. And he had. Yeah, I know that's why you muted it. Well, I was going to end it now anyway.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I think
This
I hope I entertained you enough.
Oh yeah, man. It was a good talk.
Okay.
It wasn't as funny as the last one, but some of that's like I don't have it in me to be as funny. This headache, man, is.
No, I hear you. Plus, if we had Jason here, he could
Yeah.
bring the funny too. But
it's like with this headache, I'm afraid of going from funny to just being mean, and I don't want to be mean. I'm not actually mean. I just have like one of those like shitty sense of humor.
yeah, it's all right.
I don't want to. I could go on and say some funny stuff about how bad Star Wars is, but I would just be crossing the line into being mean to be mean with I have a headache because I'm just like, oh, what's something funny? Oh, Star Wars sucks. Oh,
All right. Oh, I got to ask you a question. I'm redubbing that first hangout that we did where we talked movies and then we went off the subject and we went on all different things. But I'm trying to come up with a name for it. Movie time with Avery and Drew, or something like that. Talking movie crap and other stuff or something like that.
talking movies, comics, and pop culture. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something that's cute, funny.
Avery, talking. Avery hates everything: movies, comics, and Avery hates everything. Because sometimes I hate stuff just to be the contrarian.
Well, see, that's the thing. I love so many things, and you hate so many things. We make a good mix,
Yeah, like like Fantastic Four still bookcase. You love it.
I never said I loved it. I own it. I didn't say I loved it.
Then why did you buy it? If you don't love it, what did you buy? I don't understand. I can't wrap my head around that.
Listen, if Best Buy is going to go through the trouble of putting a movie in a steelbook case and making it available for me to buy, I'm going to buy it.
I don't understand that. I can't comprehend that, bro.
It's okay. It's okay.
I see a movie I like at a good price. I go, cool. I buy it.
Oh, but I didn't buy it at a good price. I bought it day release. I paid full price for it.
I don't understand.
I know. You don't have to understand the addiction. You just have to recognize that it's there. But you don't have to understand it. It's not for you to understand.
I could understand if you were addicted to heroin.
Well, I know.
I could understand if you were addicted to smoking. I could understand if you were addicted to meth. I don't understand. I could understand if you were addicted to gambling.
Online porn and prostitutes. Yeah, I could understand it, but
Been there. I mean, wait, what?
yeah, nope.
It's like I'm looking at at my bookshelf of the books on there, and it's like I genuinely like every one of them. That's why I bought them.
Yeah, well,
My movies, I buy movies I like. And package is irrelevant.
it
Some
it
steelbook cases look cool, but if it's not a movie I really, really want that bad,
it must be nice living in your world, you know?
not really. But
Yeah, well, my world's totally different from that. I actually, it's what's going on with
if
what's the
I'm not
next steelbook?
if I'm not enjoying it, I I'm not going to buy it because they put it in a steelbook case. Like
No, I
a
understand.
lot, like a lot of people bought Action Comics 1000. I didn't.
Yeah, I still haven't yet either.
I'm not going to.
They have tons and tons of them out there.
That's irrelevant to me. I
Yeah.
don't read Superman comics. I've never read Superman comics. I've only ever bought maybe two or three ever. And I no longer buy things just because it's the cool thing. It's the speculative thing.
Yeah.
I no longer do that. I haven't done that in years. That 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 whole market curbed my enthusiasm. Right at
No,
the
I understand. But they did produce it with a blank sketch cover, and they don't. The store, our store, sold out of them. So.
It wouldn't do me any good to buy a blank sketch cover because I draw a shitty Superman. Me
Well,
and
I was looking forward to drawing Hero as Superman. I thought that'd be cool.
me and Superman don't get along.
That's because you screwed his wife, man. On that note, I think we're done. What do you think?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll see you for lunch tomorrow then, right?
Yeah.
Sound good?
Yep. Later.
All right, later, bye.